All right, let's just jump right into this explainer and completely demystify one of the most universally feared, but honestly highly scoring topics in aptitude exams like CAT, Bank, and SSE. You know the feeling, right? You're staring blankly at a word problem about A and B painting a wall, just wondering how on earth to even start. Well, you're in the right place. Today, we aren't just going to learn how to solve time and work problems, we're going to absolutely conquer them. We're stripping away the complex algebra and handing you a mechanical, fail-proof system. We've got a super clear roadmap for you today. We're going to hit the illusion, the reveal, the variations, the pitfalls, and finally wrap up with the mastery plan. Let's get right to it. Section 1. The illusion, or overcoming the abstract fear. Let's actually validate exactly why these questions induce so much panic in the middle of an exam. Seriously, have you ever wondered why speed and distance questions somehow feel, I don't know, manageable, but work questions instantly induce a total panic attack? Think about it. When someone says a car drives 60 miles an hour, you can easily picture a car just zooming down a highway, right? You intuitively get distance. But when a question asks about completing a piece of work, our brains kind of just stall out. And that brings us to this crucial point. The challenge really isn't the math itself, it's the abstract nature of work. Work doesn't have a physical dimension, it's totally invisible. Is the work building a giant wall, typing up a massive report, digging a hole? Because it's so abstract, it's incredibly hard to visualize in your head, which makes the underlying math feel, frankly, impossible. But what if we could give it a physical dimension? Well, here is the absolute cure to that abstraction. The three core pillars. Don't look at these as separate, boring formulas. Think of them as interlocking gears. Work equals rate times time. It grounds everything in a simple mechanical reality. The work getting done is driven entirely by the speed of the work multiplied by the time spent. Need to figure out the rate? Easy. Just divide the work by the time. Need the time? Divide the work by the rate. If you can really internalize how these three gears turn each other, literally everything else we cover today is just a slight variation of this one foundational concept. All right, moving to section 2, the reveal, the completely game-changing LCM method. Just look at this stark contrast here. On one side, you have the old, ugly textbook way that forces you to juggle these incredibly messy fractions. Say person A takes 12 days and person B takes 15 days to finish a job. Traditional math makes you calculate 1/12 plus 1/15. It's just a recipe for silly calculation errors, and it slows you way down. But look at the clean LCM method on the other side. It completely eliminates messy fractions. By assuming the total work is simply the least common multiple of the given times, so in this case the LCM of 12 and 15 is 60, we just pretend there are exactly 60 units of work to be done. Boom, we just gave our abstract work a physical dimension, and suddenly we've turned complex fractional algebra into simple middle school addition and subtraction. Once you assume the total work is that least common multiple, the math literally does itself. Here's the breakdown. Step 1. Find the LCM of the times to set your total work. So we have 60 units. Step 2. Calculate their individual rates. If A does 60 units in 12 days, A's rate is 5 units a day. If B does it in 15 days, well, B's rate is 4 units a day. Step 3. Find the combined rate. 5 plus 4 equals 9 units a day when they're working together. And finally, step 4. Just divide the total work by that combined rate. 60 units divided by 9 units a day gives us exactly 6.67 days. No fractions, no headaches, just pure, undeniable logic. So how does this actually play out in the exam room? Let's get into section 3, the variations. These are your essential shortcuts and tactics.
You know, exams absolutely love throwing a wrench into the gears. A classic trick is the one person leaves early or shift work scenario. You know the ones. A starts working, gets tired, and B joins later. These supposedly complex problems become completely effortless when we just break down what work was actually completed before the person walked out and what units remain for the rest of the crew. Say the total work is 60 units. Person A works alone for 4 days at 5 units a day. Okay, so they've completed 20 units. That leaves exactly 40 units remaining. You just take that remaining 40 and divide it by the new combined rate of whoever's actually left working. Guys, it's not algebra, it's just basic inventory management.
Then, of course, there are those tricky efficiency problems. A is twice as efficient as B. Instead of writing out these long, tangled equations, just remember one golden rule. Efficiency and time are inverses. They are inversely proportional. If the efficiency ratio of A to B is 2 to 1, which just means A works twice as fast,
then their time ratio is literally flipped. It becomes 1 to 2. A takes half the time B does. Just flip the ratio and you instantly have your baseline to solve the problem in seconds.
All right, let's rapid fire through some essential mental shortcuts. Think of these as your exam cheat codes. First up, wages. Never, ever distribute wages based on how long someone was clocking in. Distribute wages strictly based on the actual units of work they completed. Period. Next, pipes and cisterns. Guess what? It is the exact same concept as time and work. An inlet pipe filling a tank, that's just someone doing positive work. An outlet pipe emptying the tank, that's just negative work. You just subtract those negative units from your combined rate. And finally, the M1D1 formula for man days. 10 men working for 15 days equals 150 man days of total work. If you suddenly need that exact same job done in 5 days, just divide those 150 man days by 5, and boom, you instantly know you need 30 men. It's really that simple.
Okay, so you have the weapons now, but you also need to know where the exam setters have hidden the traps. Section 4, the pitfalls.
Look, the examiners know exactly how your brain wants to short circuit under pressure. The absolute most common trap, adding times directly. If A takes 10 days and B takes 20 days, together they do not take 30 days. Or even 15 days. That makes zero logical sense. Together they absolutely must be faster than the fastest person working alone. Always calculate using rates, never add times. Another trap, which we kind of just touched on, never distribute wages by time worked. Think about it in real life. If I work super slowly for 10 days and you work incredibly fast for 2 days to finish the exact same project, we don't get paid based on the days. We distribute the money by the actual units of work done. Don't let them trick you on test day.
Now we're handing the baton over to you. Section 5, the mastery plan. Here is your 7-day action plan.
This timeline is a chronological roadmap that guarantees if you follow it, within 1 week, you'll be solving these problems faster than you can even read the questions. Spend days 1 and 2 purely mastering the LCM method and the basic working together concepts. Don't rush it. Then, on days 3 and 4, you graduate to efficiency ratios, wages, and those tricky positive and negative pipes we talked about. Days 5 and 6, those are for advanced concepts, stuff like the man days formula and complex shift work problems where people leave early. And finally, day 7, the crucible. You sit down and take a mock test strictly focused on time and work. Which brings us to our final challenge for you. Once you completely strip away the abstraction, once you internalize the LCM method, and once you've practiced your mental shortcuts, can you push yourself to beat the clock and solve every single time and work problem in exactly 45 seconds? Because honestly, with this tactical guide, I promise you, it is 100% possible. The mechanics are entirely in your hands now. Get out there and crush it.